Light Up Alive is such an important event to so many people. I know so many people that come back year after year. It's very much about celebrating the life of loved ones. It's also about sharing when that grief can be very, very raw. For some, it might be the first Christmas they're facing without that very special person in their life who they will be missing so much. The thing I like best about attending Light Up Alive is mixing with people, hearing their stories, knowing what a difference the hospice has made to either themselves or someone that they've known. And also the fact that we're there to support them through loss and grief if they're missing somebody that they have loved deeply. The hospice is all about people's lives and people's stories, so I'd like to share with you now the story of someone who has been in our care.
She raised us both on her own. Looked after us all the way through our schooling, caring, loving and dedicated to doing a good job on me and my brother, and I seem to think she managed that quite well, to be fair.
Mum was like, she was brilliant. Every time you wanted something, she'd try and do her best for you. Sometimes she couldn't, but obviously she'd try her best. She was a bit of a lunatic, really. She was always heart and soul of the family, laughing and joking. Sometimes she was the one who started it off, actually, to be fair.
She's just crazy. Just absolutely off her head. She's just the sense of humour. You couldn't get a sense of humour like it. And I think growing up now, I've sort of got her sense of humour. So when we was both together, she was just an amazing woman.
I remember Anne as being the centre of her huge family, and I remember her family being really involved in her care, and I remember her being like the matriarch and the middle of the family and being looked after by her family really well. She was a real character, and it was really easy to grow to like her and to really like her family and get on well with them.
Mum's illness, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, I think 3 years ago now. I think it's the fourth time I think she's battled it. And unfortunately over the last year or so we had the diagnosis where she was terminal with 4 to 6 months to go.
Well, I think I can speak for me, but I think I can speak for the rest of the family as well. It was pretty devastating, to be fair, because only having one parent through your whole life, you don't really know anything else. She was in St Mary's care from obviously January till when she passed away, 15th of March. I myself found out about St Mary's through a friend at work who had been through a similar situation but with one of his uncles. He told me he could not find one fault with St Mary's. The treatment that I found that my mum received being at St Mary's was exceptional. Thank you certainly for me doesn't cover it. Me and my brother, when we was going up visiting mum, we spoke to quite a few of the nurses, and the way we look at it is it's almost as if someone had got all the nurses, lined them up against the wall and handpicked the best at that job. And I can't say thank you enough, and I don't think thank you covers it. Just absolutely fantastic. Mum used to get up pretty early, used to wait for us all to come round because obviously we'd flown the nest, so we'd come round with our children. And she just used to sit there in anticipation of waiting to see her grandchildren open the presents. She enjoyed the fact that everyone used to get together for Christmas and make it a family event. Yeah, she really did enjoy it.
Christmas growing up with Nan was the best. Like when I was younger, you'd always get a massive sack full of presents and they'd all be written from Santa. Even if you was 13, 20, it doesn't matter what age you are, it was from Santa. And she just used to love Christmas with all the family being together, and especially with the younger grandkids.
Obviously we're looking forward to Christmas as we normally do, but this will be the first Christmas without Mum, and it's going to leave such a big hole. Mum used to always love her Christmas was sitting there, watching her family around her, opening presents. That made her Christmas. And we used to come around every morning with the kids, they'd open the presents, go and see my wife's family, then come back down again for a meal, and that was, you could see the pride sitting there, watching her kids and the grandkids opening the presents. That was Mum all over.
The hospice helps individuals fulfil those special, important traditions. For instance, a visit from our support at home volunteer can mean that a spouse, husband, wife, parent, loved one can have 2 hours to simply go out and do the Christmas shopping, knowing that their loved one is being well cared for and in the company of one of our volunteers.
Christmas at the hospice is an absolutely beautiful time. So there's just a lovely buzz and a lovely energy. We try to support any patient who wants to go home for Christmas to go home, to make sure that they've got a stable care pathway so that they can go home and enjoy their day with their family and those who are important to them. For our patients who can't get home, we bring Christmas to them. So that is at the beginning of December, we have staff volunteer their time to come in and decorate the whole of the inpatient unit with Christmas trees, and we've got some very kind donators who support us with Christmas presents so that the patients have presents to open on Christmas Day. We encourage the families to come and visit their relatives on Christmas Day and have their Christmas dinner with them, which is beautiful. And we play music and we get the patients together, and there's a real sense of unity and celebration. And again, it's a time that palliative illness can be managed, but it isn't the focal point of that person's care.
Light Up a Life is really important for the hospice. We really enjoy reconnecting with patients' families, and I know it's hugely important to them to come back to the hospice to see what the hospice is doing and see how the hospice is developing. It's thanks to our loyal supporters that we're able to care for our patients and their voluntary donations, but thanks to them we've looked after over 400 people just like Anne and all of their family and friends around them. So Light Up a Life last year raised over £60,000, and that's really important to the hospice. That keeps us running, and particularly over Christmas that allows us to care for patients.
On Christmas Day, Birmingham St Mary's Hospice will be supporting around 400 individuals in their own homes and some in the hospice. Most of the care we provide is in an individual's own home, and not many people realise that. We also provide support to individuals, to families, and to support people after the death of a loved one through their bereavement. I'd very much like to thank every single person who has come along to Light Up a Life this evening, and to everyone that's donated money, because that makes such a difference to us being able to continue to deliver services to families across Birmingham and Sandwell. So thank you all for being part of such an important event. I want to thank Billy and his family for sharing their story with us. It's so important to share stories about the hospice. Not many people know what we do, so I can't thank them enough for being part of Light Up a Life and sharing their experiences with so many others.